Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Her Private Hell, the latest film by Nicolas Winding Refn, his first film in 10 years. It's been 10 years since The Neon Demon back in 2016, one of my favorite Refn films, by the way. And he's decided to return to filmmaking with this film because he had some ideas that he had to get out of his head. And what wacky and insane ideas they were. Okay, I do not know how to properly describe this film because it is a lot. I think a lot of people are probably gonna hate it because of how much it is. And I also think a lot of people are gonna be lost just because of how much of a mindfuck it turns into by the last act of the movie. Now, to be clear, I saw this movie in theaters. Jack wasn't available to watch it at the time.
Correct.
So I am going to describe the insanity that is this movie to Jack and hopefully inform all of you of my many complicated thoughts involving the movie. But before we begin, I just want to say I actually did love this movie, even if I'm not entirely sure if I completely understood everything it was trying to do.
So it was a good experience.
It was a good experience. If nothing else, it was a wonderful experience. All right, so where to begin? First, let me start explaining all the components that make up this movie by showing how many different genres this movie encompasses. So the movie takes place in a dystopian cyberpunk city in the future. So you got like a cyberpunk kind of thing going on, like a sci-fi thing going on. It's about two different plots. The first plot involves a character named Elle, who is an actress whose father is a director and is going to be making a feature film based on a comic he loves. And his daughter is going to star in that feature film. And his wife is also going to star in the film, the wife not necessarily being the mother of the father. She's a stepmother. Okay. And this influencer that he invites to come live with them for a little while they're doing the film is also going to star in the film. And the idea basically is come and stay at our penthouse and we'll make sure that everyone has the right chemistry. And so you have this kind of like familial conflict going on here between the daughter who kind of resents her father, who married a woman her age. Ooh. And she does not get along with her stepmother. And it's very obvious the father kind of has a thing for the girl he brought in to also star in the thing. So the father is obviously known for kind of like, you know, dipping his wick places. So there's kind of like this psychosexual familial drama happening in this. So there's that component.
Okay, so
of
the influencer that they hire is also a girl.
Yes, also a girl around the same age as the main character. They're all like in their early 20s.
Gotcha.
With the exception of the father, who is clearly like 50 something.
Right.
That is one thing. Now, this plot shifts when the main character and the influencer actress person witness a woman getting killed by a serial killer that has kind of become a thing of folklore among the city. He's called the Leatherman. Okay. And he's apparently someone who comes in the night and kills or kidnaps daughters. That's his whole thing. Okay. So he targets women, but it seems to be he targets them based on them being daughters. It's very specific in that way. Okay. But I don't know how you could be a woman without being a daughter, so I guess he just targets women. Like, yeah. That's one of those things that the movie keeps specifying, but I'm not sure what the actual distinction really is, to be completely honest.
Yeah, because every woman's somebody's daughter.
But it makes thematic sense because there's a lot of like father-daughter stuff throughout this movie that seems to be important to the themes of the movie. Right. So you have a serial killer running around murdering women, and the way it's presented is very much like an Italian giallo. So you have like a giallo component to this movie. Meanwhile, in the second plot thread of this, you have this hard-boiled American detective guy, but he's not really a detective. He's an ex-soldier, but he's looking for his missing daughter, who was kidnapped by the Leatherman. Okay. Now, his whole part of the story is presented like a film noir. Like he's giving these like voiceovers about like, you know, walking through the nasty grisly streets, you know, kind of like what's his name in Watchmen?
Rorschach.
Like Rorschach, you know, like just talking about his experience searching for this folkloric creature called the Leatherman that kidnaps daughters. And his daughter was apparently taken by the Leatherman.
Right.
And his plot involves him dealing with like Yakuza members and like the police and whatnot. So on top of everything, it's also kind of got a mob plot in the middle of this.
Okay.
And the thing that kind of brings the whole movie together is this overall vibe and this reoccurring theme of the movie actually kind of being a fairy tale.
All right.
Right down to the constant reference to the stepmom being the wicked stepmother and things like that. There's a lot of language used throughout this that indicate a fairy tale. And even if you like look at some of the settings in the movie, you have like the main character who feels like they're trapped in this like penthouse above the clouds, like a princess in a castle, you know, with her wicked stepmother. With this other plot of this like almost like Prince Charming like fellow looking for his missing daughter. So there's like this fairy tale kind of like thing going on top of everything else this movie has. And then by the time you get to the third act, you no longer know what reality is, and it's like you're in a David fucking Lynch fucking like psychosis.
Okay.
And another component to this movie, it is a very horny movie.
Okay, I'm liking this.
There's some hardcore, like, psychosexual moments in this movie. There's some fucking, you know, there's a whole lot of, like, lingering over people's, like, sweaty bodies. You know, it is a very horny movie. It's very similar to The Neon Demon in that way, how that movie was very horny, too. So, yeah. There's a lot going on in this movie, and that's like a bunch of different genres all kind of mashed together to make up the soup that is this movie. But I haven't even got to like the truly weird parts of this movie. I'm going to save most of that for the spoiler section.
Oh, okay.
Very obviously, this movie is Nicolas Refn like exploring his feelings about fatherhood and about relationships between fathers and daughters. You have the main character and her like tumultuous relationship with her father.
Right.
You have the relationship between the guy searching for his daughter, and you have this creature running around that apparently always appears in the mists that kidnaps people's daughters in this weird leather daddy outfits. But you're also not entirely sure throughout the movie if all these plot threads are literally happening or if some of them are like in certain characters' heads.
Oh, okay.
It's very mindfucky in that way.
Okay.
And by the end of the movie, it's very clear that the fact that the main characters are like there to be filming a movie is almost like a tip-off to the blending of reality and unreality in the third act.
Okay.
To where you're like, okay, so this isn't real, but it is real, right? It's like, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, if this movie, it doesn't, but if this movie had ended like Holy Mountain, it would have made perfect sense with everything that happened in the movie. But it almost ends like right before Holy Mountain ends, right?
Okay, gotcha.
My feelings on this movie is I don't know if all of the themes necessarily add up, and I don't necessarily know what's supposed to be real in this movie, what isn't, though there are some theories I'll talk about in the spoiler section. But I definitely loved the fucking weird vibe of this movie. I loved how violent it got. I loved the fucking score to this movie is fucking great. I loved how fucking colorful and neon and like cyberpunky everything looked. It's like a weird mix because you have like the cyberpunk streets, right? That feels like something straight out of like a cyberpunk or like an anime. But then when you get to her high rise, it's almost like the Jetsons, like almost like a retro future kind of like thing. Like there's like a different world that the fucking richer people and the poorer people live in, right?
Right.
The seedy streets versus the high rise above the clouds. And I also feel like the fact that their high rise is above the clouds is even more of a tip off of like the weird mergings of reality and unreality, because it's almost like we're in like a heavenly state.
So question, does this feel like a movie that was perhaps a little too ambitious even for Refn? It got away from him?
It definitely was ambitious. Maybe too ambitious. I don't know if I would have it any other way.
Okay, all right.
If that makes sense.
Fair, yeah.
I maybe would have liked some clarifications of some things in the last act, which we'll get to.
Okay.
So yeah, I do recommend this movie if you like Nicolas Refn movies, or if you like weird mindfucking movies, if you like movies like filmmakers like a David Lynch, or even if you like movies like from like a Lars von Trier thing. If you like any of those kinds of filmmakers that just make weird, fucked up movies that you spend days trying to figure out if they even make sense, then you'll probably have a good time with this. If anything like that pisses you off, then avoid this movie like the plague, because you are going to be angry. And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers so I can talk about the third act and some of my theories involving this movie, some of which I think is actually less a theory and more just a thing that happens in the movie that I picked up on, but we'll see. Here we go. Okay, so there's a bunch of things that happen that lead into this third act that I think I need to explain first.
Okay.
On the L plotline, the plotline for the main character, who's kind of the person we start with, the Sophie Thatcher character, she and her stepmother and the influencer basically go out clubbing together.
Okay.
Meeting up with this guy. It becomes clear that the stepmother has been sleeping with this guy on the side, but that's not the revelation of what happens here. It becomes clear that the main character isn't mad at her father for dating this woman because this woman, or for marrying this woman because this woman is the same age as her. He's mad because she's her ex.
Oh, okay. All right.
Main character is deeply in love with wicked stepmother, and that's why she hates her for marrying her father.
Right.
But wicked stepmother is no longer in love with her.
Right.
And is now perfectly happy with her sugar daddy right now.
Right.
So it's kind of a love triangle between the father, the daughter, and the fucking stepmother. But then you add this other guy that the stepmother's sleeping with in the mix. And so the daughter goes and sleeps with that guy as a fuck you to her.
No, that's never the answer. It's never the answer.
But while she's fucking that guy, the Leatherman shows up and kills the fucking influencer chick.
Okay.
Who was watching them fuck.
Okay.
Because she's been insanely horny this entire movie and has basically wanted to fuck every guy she ran into, including that guy, and followed him and saw them fucking and decided to just watch because it was turning her on. Again, this is a very horny movie. By the way, the Leatherman kills these women by ripping their chest open.
Okay.
That's how he does. He like grabs around them and then rips their chest open through their boobs.
Okay. All right. All right.
Private K, I think, is the character's name. The soldier looking for his daughter. That character ends up freeing a woman from sexual slavery after fighting the Yakuza that were like basically using her and abusing her after hearing her screaming.
Right.
But then he has like this weird like magical moment where he talks to these two women in the shop that he broke into looking for information. And these two women we saw earlier in the movie putting on dresses for the other characters.
Okay.
But it becomes clear that these are like magical beings.
Okay.
They're like spirit guides, you know?
All right.
And they're like gonna help guide this guy, right, to like his destiny. Then the Yakuza appear and beat the shit out of him, and that's the last we see of him until the daughter is fucking that one dude in the club, and then the influencer is killed watching them fuck.
All right.
And we keep seeing this shot of Private K like trapped in glass, like banging on the glass, like he's watching the whole thing, but he can't do anything about it. Okay. So one thing I noticed while watching this movie was that every time it cut to Private K's storyline, it would always cut back to the main character waking up, like from a dream.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so I kind of believe that all the Private K stuff is a fantasy that she has created in her head of this guy who is her real father in her head because she hates her actual father.
Oh, okay.
So she's created this fictional Prince Charming father.
Okay.
That's searching for her and is going to save her from the Leatherman, who in her head is her dad.
Okay. All right. Makes sense so far.
Makes sense so far. And so that's why during this scene we see the fucking Private K like banging on the thing or whatever, because
he cannot breach the threshold of non-reality.
Yes, he cannot breach reality.
Yeah.
He's a fictional character.
Yeah.
He is a figment in her head. I'm not sure if the Leatherman actually exists in this story either.
Right.
But I also don't know how to square that with some of the things that happen in the movie, because the main character isn't the only one who sees the Leatherman.
Okay.
The influencer chick also sees the Leatherman.
Okay, so he definitely exists within the reality of the movie.
Yes, Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But if he does, he clearly has magic powers.
All right.
Motherfucker can teleport.
Okay. All right.
Back to the L plot line. After fucking this guy, she goes and rubs it in her stepmom's face. They essentially go home, and then they get into a fight that turns into one of them holding a knife and the other one swinging an axe at them.
All right.
And then in the middle of this fight, the Leatherman shows up and kills the stepmom.
Okay.
And chases the main character through the hallways of their apartment until she ends up, a doorway just appears in like a wall. Like magically.
Okay.
With mist and smoke. And she walks up and she ends up in the planet that's depicted in the comic they're adapting for the movie.
All right.
This planet of like crystals and like magic and whatever.
All right.
Where she is chased by the Leatherman.
Okay. All right.
She kills the Leatherman.
All right.
Private K is reunited with his daughter that magically appears there and walks off into the mists. And I don't exactly remember the exact details of the conversation, but the two women basically talk to the main character about finally fulfilling her destiny and being who she should be.
Okay, so she retreats into a fantasy world.
That's what I think. I don't know.
Right.
But it also makes me wonder, did the Leatherman actually exist or did she kill her stepmom? But I don't know how to square that with the fact that they clearly saw the Leatherman earlier and another person saw it with them. So it was the influencer in her. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's some like conversational details throughout this that I've kind of left out of this. Like there's a whole conversation about like these two mystical foxes who work with the Leatherman. I think those two women that keep appearing are supposed to be the foxes. But what confuses the issue, okay, like bear with me here. One of the conversations, and this is kind of shows like the weird Lynchian aspects of this movie.
Right.
There's a point in which the stepmother, the main character, and the influencer at the club, and the stepmother and the daughter start barking at each other.
Ah, okay, all right.
Oh, that's cute. You two speak wolf.
Okay, all right. When is this thing gonna hit video?
I don't know, but I can't wait for you to watch it just to get your fucking interpretation of it.
Dude, this sounds wild.
It's fucking wild. And I know most people who watch it are gonna hate it, but I can't hate it, man. I can't hate it. I love too much its wackiness.
Trying to compare this to the Neon Demon, I'm like, yeah, the Neon Demon was actually relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
Compared to what you're describing. Apparently, that's her private hell.
That's her private hell. Ask for it by name. It's currently in theaters in a very limited run. I don't think it's going to last very long in theaters. So check it out for yourself if you want. And with that said, y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms. But these days, I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of our videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And if you made it this far into the video, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag #YouSpeakWolf. It's one of my favorite quotes in this movie because it's just said so matter of fact, like that's a thing. Like, oh yeah, you speak wolf. Peace out, my fellow gorehounds. We'll catch y'all later.